What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Friday, by the way. TGIF. It is the end of the week. Hopefully you guys got a good weekend lined up. In this video here, we got a little bit of Plarium news here. It's about future plans that Plarium is sharing with us here. And it's in regards to a recent community survey that they had dropped on a couple different communities. I'm part of the Reddit community, so we had a dedicated survey there. There's also been like in-game surveys as well, basically just asking for customer feedback. So here is what they've given us in terms of taking that feedback back to Plarium and then coming up with some kind of solution. So we'll go over that in this video here, just in case you guys missed it. So let's start off here. So time in game, that's a big one. And that's a big gripe for a very, very long time for basically everyone in this game. They're adding tons of content, which is awesome, but the content just takes time and they're not really giving us more time back from old content to basically speed up our time in the game per day. Instead, they're just increasing the time in this game per day. Anyway, so time in game. Your feedback regarding the amount of time the game takes was brought forward and it aligns with our long-term improvement plans. I mean, like I said, we've been bringing this up ever since like Chimera was introduced. Chimera and Siege were some big things that were big time sinks. Earlier next year, background battles will receive an update allowing you to fight in arenas, live arena, while earning gear and rewards at the same time. I mean, we talked about this already, and they confirmed that they are working on something so that we can do PvP and PvE at the same time, so you can be farming while playing in the arena at the same time. Now, I'm not too sure how much time this would actually save, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't think the average player spends that much time in arena. But sure, this would save a little bit of time overall. What I would really want to see is actually background battles happening while you're able to do some of the boss content like clashes, in some cases even Demon Lord if you're not even one keying the Ultra Nightmare yet. And it doesn't specify here, but the Doom Tower climb and the Doom Tower keys are also pretty big time sinks for people. And at this moment, you can't really do anything while they're ongoing. So hopefully that's part of the earning gear and rewards at the same time part of this comment. Up next, we have gear management and accessories space. Yeah, this is a big one as well. It's been ongoing ever since they introduced 9-piece sets. More and more 9-piece sets have shown up, and then our accessories in general have been absolutely insane in terms of just overall management. I recently just did a massive cleanse and I just got rid of all 5-star accessories. Like, I don't even care because there's just so much accessories that as long as I have 1 or 2 key sets, like 9-piece protection, 9-piece feral, like that's good enough for me. Everything else is like in the bin. But managing gear and accessory space has become more challenging, especially with recent additions. Exactly what I said. This has been discussed, and an extension of accessory and gear slots is planned for future update. Another improvement shaped by your feedback. So they're going to add more space. Honestly, I don't think this is like a long-term solution. Yes, more space will help temporarily until we fill up that space and then ask for more space, or until they add a new gear set. What I wanted to see, or at least what I wanted to hear them talk about, is perhaps considering amalgamating some of these accessories. Mainly, the biggest idea out there is actually talking about instead of individual faction accessories, have the entire alliance. So you're basically cutting the accessories into like a quarter of what it could be. Because now you have 4 factions in one alliance, and you can share accessories across all 4 of those factions. That would be, I think, a pretty big change, and that would definitely save us a lot of space and give them a lot of runway for what they could do in the future as well. Adding more space, 100, 200 slots, like that's going to last us maybe like a month, like, you know what I mean? 2 months, and then we'll be back in the same spot. So it feels like a band-aid solution, but hey, it's better than nothing. Also keep in mind that if you have more space, like, you know, champion space, gear space, it actually bogs down the game. If you guys didn't know that, if you guys have a full box of everything, your game actually bogs down a little bit. So I fear that perhaps Plarium just adding these kind of band-aid solutions just going to make the game run a little bit less smooth, but that's just me. Up next, we have live arena. So live arena, several live arena requests originated directly from you, and some of them are already underway. Friendly battles are officially on the roadmap, so in the future you'll be able to challenge friends and clanmates directly. And yes, live arena will become available 24/7 in the coming months, offering more flexibility for everyone. Honestly, this is not new. We talked to Banana Jam, 2 months ago, and this is exactly what she said. She already gave us this kind of information. They said 24/7 live arena. They said friendly battles were in the works. So honestly, nothing new from there. Let's talk about Siege here a little bit. Your concerns about Siege were reviewed and discussed. I'm happy to inform you that the testing defense teams will become possible in one of the future updates, and we hope that it will help you and your clans plan and refine strategies before battle begins. That's great. That's a little bit of flexibility. That's a little bit, something that people were asking for. Now, the problem here is that adds time. Testing adds time, and that doesn't really bring back anything into your account. It doesn't really help progress your account outside of just performing well in Siege. Yes, performing well in Siege can add stuff to your account, but I don't know what level of player engagement this will do. But personally speaking, this is a great change. It gives people a bit more control in what they're doing. So good change. Up next, we have Relics. Now that's a big one here as well. Relics. You spoke about Relics, and one of your concerns was how difficult it can be to understand what's happening in arena and siege battles since their introduction. This was brought to the team's attention, and an in-game battle indicator for Relics is currently under consideration. Doesn't mean that it's going to come. It's under consideration. Again, this is just one of the things that's been brought up to Plarium a long time ago. What they really need to do is have some kind of log of what's happening, like a log of things happening on the sidebar, like in like faded text or something, or like scrolling text would be absolutely amazing, because a lot of times, like, 2, 3, 4 things happen in the span of like 2 seconds and you have no idea what's happening. So, having an indicator pop off, I don't know how many indicators there are in this game, but it's pretty hard to keep track of what is going on, even with indicators coming off of each champion. So I think this is a solution, but I don't think it's the best solution, to be honest. And yeah, relics are just super, super complicated stuff. Additionally, a rebalancing of some of the weaker relics is planned for next year. That's always a good idea, to keep one of every relic, guys. Never, ever just scrap them all. Always keep at least one, just in case of rebalancing. IP integration and empowerment. Many of you asked about time-limited champions empowerment, and the topic has been reviewed again. In the future, time-limited champions will be empowerable, not only by other permanent champions from the game, but also by duplicates of themselves. I mean, what was the issue here? I don't understand why they wouldn't allow it in the beginning. Why you couldn't empower, for example, Leonardo with Leonardo. I don't understand that. I wonder if they would retroactively. Oh, actually, they're mentioning it here. This could include some of the champions from older collaborations. So perhaps there will be some retroactive changes here as well, which is pretty cool. Altar of Souls. Your request for shorter merchant refresh times was brought to the table, and it's happening in upcoming update. The merchant will start refreshing 4 times per day instead of once every 12 hours. That's a very weird sentence. They should say 4 times a day instead of 2 times a day, or they should say every 6 hours instead of every 12 hours. Why would you go times and then you go hours in the same sentence? Just hella confusing. Hella confusing, guys. Giving you more opportunities to encounter the souls you've been waiting for. So effectively, you're doubling the likelihood of you getting your souls. I don't know if that translates into double the speed in which you get the souls, but hey, that's a big change. This is something I brought up to them because I mentioned to them that my Marius 6-star took 10 months to build, even though I had the resources saved up to build him. And I think that's just unacceptable. You're building 1 6-star per year. Getting the resources is another issue as well. I think it's just way too punishing for people to invest this resource, which takes forever to get, and then have it be so inflexible. Basically, you're stuck with that champion forever. You committed all these resources to a 6-star. You can only do 1 per year, if even that, and that's like super sweaty grinding. So I think it's a little bit much. It's a little bit much, especially with all these champions in the game nowadays. But anyways, that was brought to their attention, on our developer chats and all that. So hopefully that rang some bells for them. And that's going to be it. So stay tuned for these future improvements in the future. Now, Honestly, none of this is surprising. None of this is surprising because we mentioned a bunch of this stuff in our developer talks a couple months ago. I think what is new that they actually mentioned here that wasn't mentioned is the empowerment. The empowerment stuff, that's great. Finally, right? Finally, that's great. The Altar of Souls, that is a solution, so I'm okay with that. But they need to address how quickly or easily you can get the resource, because the resources, the essences, is extremely difficult to get, especially if you're a newer player. Even as an endgame player, it's extremely difficult to get these resources. And giving us the ability to refresh them more often, it's not going to translate into actually getting more of these souls. But anyways, this is a bit of a fix. Everything else, I mean, this indicator stuff, I mean, they need to do a little bit better than this Relic indicator stuff. Siege, that was known. Live Arena, that was known. Gear management, not a huge fan. Just getting more slots. I feel like that's a band-aid solution. It's not like a permanent solution or anything like that. They don't mention anything else outside of the background battle fix, which was already discussed previously a couple months ago. So overall, nothing really too crazy here, but it's nice to get like confirmation from them that these things are actually in the works, and they do provide some level of timeline. For example, like early next year for the background battle, and they do mention the relic rebalancings happening sometime next year as well. Yeah, this is a very general kind of quality of life roadmap. But like I said, a lot of this was already mentioned in the developer chats we had a couple months ago. Anyways, guys, just bringing the news up to speed with everybody here. So hopefully you guys caught all that. Plarium giving us a little bit to look forward to, I guess, and at least putting it in writing at least holds them hopefully a little bit more accountable to some of these changes. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully it was informative for you guys. Happy Friday. Like I said, have a great weekend. Hopefully you guys are well. I'm just coming off of a pretty nasty flu myself, so hopefully everything will be back to normal-ish. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Appreciate your time as always. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.